My name is Corinda Peterson, and this is my video presentation. I decided to look more into how physical activity affects people with mental disorders. This presentation goes over physical exercise and mental health, a content-integrated approach in coping with college students' anxiety and depression. The research problem that this study wanted to examine was on the effect of guided imagery, Tai Chi Chuan integrated programs, and traditional single-content programs on college students' anxiety and depression in the physical education instructional settings. For this study, there were 71 college students, which consisted of 42 females and 29 males, that were enrolled in physical activity classes. The criteria for the students to participate in the study included not having practiced or currently practicing regular relaxation training. They also would have to be suffering from depression and/or anxiety. The study was to examine the students' mental health, anxiety, and depression, and the influence the two integrated programs had on it. The learning content that was integrated with relaxation in the programs was kept identical in order to increase the measurement validity. The students were required to not participate in any type of relaxation exercise outside of the class. Data was collected in first and 8th weeks of class by using a profile mood states. The first study group was guided imagery integration with self-defense. There were 18 students and the class was 50 minutes. They met 3 times a week for 8 weeks. During the last 15 minutes of class, the lights were turned down and students laid in the supine position. The instructor then would provide clear, gentle, and slow word instructions to guide the participants' imagery. The purpose of these instructions was to help the participants relax mentally and physically. Group 2 was Tai Chi Chuan integration with self-defense. This group also had 18 students and class was 50 minutes long. They met 3 times a week for 8 weeks. During the last 15 minutes, the class would follow the instructor with gentle motions of Tai Chi Chuan. Concentration, relaxation, and natural deep breathing were emphasized during the entire practice sessions. Group 3 had 35 students and were split into 2 groups. This group was only self-defense and was the control group. There wasn't a specific relaxation integration exercise with the control group. The last 15 minutes of class went over learned skills from the class. The 3 different groups, groups 1, 2, and 3, were the independent variables in the study. Anxiety and depression were the dependent variables. An ANOVA test was given to measure anxiety and depression in the 3 groups. Results indicated that there wasn't a significant change in pre-class anxiety or pre-class depression. After 8 weeks, the ANOVA test was given again to measure anxiety and depression of the students. It showed that there was not a significant change in pre-class anxiety or pre-class depression. There was, however, a significant change in post-class anxiety as well as post-class depression. There was also a Tukey test given to measure anxiety and depression. The test found that lower anxiety scores were in groups 1 and 2 and no change in group 3. It also found that lower depression scores were found in groups 1 and 2 and no change in group 3. There was not a significant difference between groups 1 and 2, though. Here is a bar chart demonstrating the level of anxiety in the groups before and after the first class in week 1. This chart demonstrates the level of depression in each of the groups before and after class in week 1. This shows the level of anxiety before and after the last class in week 8. It is significantly lower in both groups 1 and 2, but not as much in group 3. This chart shows the levels of depression before and after the last class in week 8. Groups 1 and 2 are significantly lower, and group 3 is not in comparison. Some further questions from the research is, can relaxation integration with exercise benefit students with anxiety and depression more if they have previous relaxation training? And will universities begin to integrate relaxation exercises with physical activity to help benefit students with anxiety and depression? Here's the citation for the article I used. Thank you for listening.